Hi guys, Nicola here. This is the 30-day challenge of 30 things that you don't know about me. And it turns out that I skipped day 8. It's been pointed out to me that I skipped day 8. So I'm going to go all the way back and do day 8 now. This is what dyslexic people do. We just skip stuff that's not important to us. I just decided that day 8 wasn't important. And when I'm writing, I skip letters and move around. It's okay. I make it up as I'm going along. Don't worry about it. So I'm going to answer 3 questions today because I have loads of questions to get through and I want to make sure that I answer them all for you, okay? So the gorgeous Amanda Anderson, who I used to go to school with, asked me a very, very serious question. The very serious question is, Nicola, did you fancy Mr. Wills when we were in school? The answer is, Amanda, now for those people who don't know, Mr. Wills was our geography teacher. He was a much older man. And he had very elaborate hair, let's just say. Mr. Wills was a gorgeous man. He taught me more than just about geography. He taught me about why there was high unemployment rates in the 80s and how that cycle works. He also taught me about global warming and the impact and everything else. I found him to be one of the most interesting people I ever met in all my life. And I often think of him. And I actually met his niece a couple of years later and we had a very interesting conversation about him. And he's a lovely guy. But I let you in on a secret. Amanda Anderson, you cheeky minx. I did fancy Mr. Brett, the music teacher. I fancied him. And when I think about it, I'm absolutely scarred for myself. But do you know what it was? It was teenagers, hormones, and he was a young male in an all-girl school. So it didn't matter who he was. If you were young and you were male, we probably all fancied you. So I hope that answers your question, Amanda. Now, Tanya Murray asked, do I have a bad temper? Who? Do I what? I absolutely have a chronic temper. I have such a bad temper. However, there's a little star above that bad temper. In order for you to witness my bad temper, you would want to have done something horrific and something really, 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 really bad. You would want to have been chipping away at me for a long, long time if I allow my temper unleash. And it doesn't happen that often, maybe once a year at this stage. Sure, I have to take it out of the closet for the crack just to make sure that it still works. But it's very rare that I will allow somebody chip away at me, because if somebody's chipping at me, they're breaking a boundary and I'm going to say it to them. So I'm going to cut that dead in the quick before it gets to the stage of me losing the head. So yes, I have a very, very, very bad temper. However, you'd want to have done something really horrific in order for you to be able to see it. Okay? I'd love to see what my family have to say about that. Now, Martina Sows. Check out her Facebook page, by the way. Martina wants to know. She's actually coming around here tonight. She is tailoring some clothes for me again. And I'm going to see the lovely Martina this evening. I look forward to that. So Martina asked me, where do I get my energy from? Now, where I get my energy from for the job is the fact that I just love it. And I think when you have a passion, you're going to get the energy from somewhere. However, I do work, like I work mad, crazy, choppy hours. I'm all over the place. And I don't really have very much structure to my day, which is going to be changing. It changed today, actually. I started the changes today. So aside from all that, I have a disease called pernicious anemia, right? So it's a dangerous form of anemia whereby my intrinsic factor in my stomach can't absorb B12. So when I'm eating foods that contain B12, my stomach can't transfer it into the bloodstream and distribute it properly and all that kind of crack, right? So this was discovered, my doctor discovered this when I was about 19 or 20 maybe. And there's my husband sending me a message. The level that your B12 should be at is in and around the 1100 mark. But when I was diagnosed, I was at 52. And the hospital thought I was hilarious. They were all laughing at me. They said there was more active blood in a chicken than there was in me. So I'll be on B12 injections for the rest of my life. So when, like, the B12 was mismanaged for a long, long time, but we have it sorted now and we have it under control. So when I am due a B12 injection, literally I have to take to the bed. I have to just lie down and just honour my body. And I struggled with that for a long, long time because I used to put labels on myself that, you know, I wasn't trying hard enough, or I was being lazy, or, you know, the vicious words and the vicious language that we use to ourselves in our heads. I was using that towards myself for a long time when I actually was just sick. But I kind of wasn't accepting that I was sick. So, yeah, I honour my body now, and I take the breaks and I lie down when I need to. Now, I know the kids get frustrated by that. They don't really understand it yet. Please God, they will understand it when they're older. They're kind of like, why is she lying down? What's all that about? But I just have to, in order to be able to function in a couple of hours, or function the following day. So the lesson out of that, lads, is honour your body. Keep the questions coming. I'm loving them, and I'm loving this challenge. And I don't know what day I'm actually on, but tomorrow I think I'm doing day 15. So I'm jumping from 8 to 15. That's what you have to do. Take it easy. Slán.